standby. The color first.
The views and opinions expressed during this live stream do not necessarily represent the views of Framing the World. Individuals are invited to be interviewed for their unique perspective on specific topics, and not because Framing the World agrees with or endorses all other areas of opinion. Listener discretion is advised.
Yeah, I did like how, a couple months ago, Paul was like, I'll never do another t-shirt again.
Yeah.
It's the worst idea. I don't know why I did t-shirts.
Yeah. Yeah.
2020 pandemic t-shirt.
Yeah. He did 9 styles.
Yeah, not only did I decide to do this without having done it one time, or I did it once. I haven't done it in 20 years. And then I'm like, I'm going to do 9 different designs.
And I told you, don't do 9 designs. Do 3 and see what happens. 9 designs. They're everywhere. Logan, you've got to see this floor. There's t-shirts everywhere.
Everywhere.
It's carnage everywhere.
All right, guys. Well, today's live stream involves 2 Canadians
And 2 Americans.
and 2 Americans. So at least I'm not outnumbered this time. We have Shane in the house.
Hello, how you doing?
And we also have Rob on the line. So I think our last conversation went really well. I appreciate them coming on the program. We also have Logan on the line, but he didn't answer his phone. So we're going to call him back in a little bit. I'm going to do my intro here. Make sure you guys support us on our alternative platforms such as Brighteon and BitChute. I'll put a link in the description of this video where you can go and subscribe to those channels. It's really important that you do it. I really want to encourage you guys to head over to those sites and subscribe right now. Even just open up a new tab or whatever you have to do. Just get out of this live stream right now. Go subscribe to those channels because that will definitely be the future of where we're going, especially if we get shut down from our main YouTube channel. We have 2 strikes on our main YouTube channel, so one more strike, we're out. And so I appreciate everyone's support on Patreon. I want to quickly just thank our sponsor, the Romans Road app. Thank you for sponsoring this episode. And I also want to thank our donors to the show, Timothy Richardson, Kimberly Gandera, Matt Powell, Michael and Leslie Beardsley, Clive Hagan, Sarah Wallace, Chad Demian, Josh Ludsford, Robert Kearney, Andrew Harms, Preston Taylor, Justin Schwartz, Ethan Schmidt, Walter Rodriguez, Kay Kuntz, Julio Files, Julio Guerrero, Samuel Elliott, Christian Cumby, in memory of Timothy Cafone and Infectious Services. So, a lot of great supporters that have been supporting us on this show for a long time. I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate Rob for supporting us on Patreon, man. Thank you. We really do count on you guys to help support us. We've had some great streams recently, and we want to keep doing these 5 days a week here on the show. What do you think of our new intro? Shane, did you like it?
The new intro is great. I don't know when you're going to preview it, but from what I've seen, it's really good.
It was on tonight, man. It just happened. Yeah.
Oh, it's on tonight?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I love it. So I think it's really cool.
Yeah. I love how it turned out as well. And so let us know in the comments what you think of the intro. Rob, what are we going to be talking about today here, man?
I guess just more of the, what's going on with the whole COVID situation and just the whole new normal. Like what are we getting used to? Just everyday life for everybody, just getting some different opinions from you, me, Shane, and Logan.
Yeah, well, it's interesting getting your guys' perspective because you're on the other side of the border there, and you definitely have some different outlooks on the things that are happening. And you guys are you guys more locked down than we are? Because it seems like around here it's not too locked down. How is it in Toronto?
Well, the like our premier, Doug Ford, he just introduced like a new tiered lockdown system that before it was basically just based on like the number of cases and all that, right? So, we were in when everything got shut down in March, it was just basically like everything was just locked down, right? And then they reopened things in stages, like stage 1, 2, 3. So about a month ago we were in stage 3, so things were pretty much opened up, just with some mild restrictions, like you got to wear a face mask, and they limited the number of people that could be in certain places, gatherings, but it was not that small. Like you could still get a good amount of people gathered, and then the numbers started going up, and they locked it down. They brought it back down to like stage 2, so you couldn't go into movie theaters, or you couldn't sit down at a restaurant. You could just go there, maybe just get some takeout. You can't go to the gym, a bunch of other stuff, right? But what they did is they introduced like a new tiered system where it's not based on the number of cases. It's more based on the percentage. It's like the number of cases is, if they just do more testing, you're just going to get more cases. So, but that doesn't determine the amount of people that are actually, dying from the COVID, right? So now they're doing it more. It makes more sense now. So it's like, if you have, you can have a lot more cases, but if the percentages are lower, that's still going to keep things open, right? So they have it like, like a color coded system, right? So they're basically going to reopen things back to stage 3 as of this Saturday at midnight, and they're going to take it from there. So hopefully we're not going to get locked down again, because this is really putting a damper on like all the businesses and stuff. A lot of people are complaining. They're losing a ton of money. People are they don't want to be stuck in their homes and work, and it's just creating havoc, right? So how are things going over in Michigan compared to like what we got going on in Toronto?
Well, things seem pretty open around here, and luckily, the local shops around this part, and I live in a small town, but none of them make you wear masks. They all have the sign that you have to wear a mask, but no one enforces it in this area. So that's luckily good. But what have you been seeing, Shane?
Yeah, kind of the same thing like what Rob was saying about, the stage 3s and stuff like that. I've noticed that in terms of the masks, it's not really the stores or the facilities, whatever. They're not enforcing that. That's the one thing that I've sort of noticed over the last few weeks. It's more like the citizens enforcing it. Anybody that I've heard that's had like, I haven't worn a mask like 99% of the time. I haven't worn a mask just in my day-to-day life. I just act like I said in the last episode, like it's 2019, and I just carry on. And nobody bothers me. Like I go into the store, nobody says anything, nobody does anything in terms of like the store or the facility, the facility or whatever. But if I have faced anything, it's usually a person like, hey, where's your mask? And any of my my anti-mask friends, I guess you could call them, any of them that have had any confrontation, it's the same thing. It's somebody in the store or somebody in public that's like, where's your mask? And but that's kind of what I've been seeing on now, delivering for my work. A lot of the places they don't ask you for the masks anymore. You show up and you drop off you drop off whatever the load is or whatever. And people just they may come out with the mask, you hand them your paperwork, and away they go. But they're not like I said, they're not really enforcing the masks. And I think now people are actually they've gotten so used to wearing the masks that if they see somebody without a mask, they're kind of like, hey, where's your mask? Because they've kind of bought into the whole thing. But I'm a testament to say that if you just go around and just live your life, nobody's going to bother you with the mask.
Yeah, the social shaming, I agree, is one of the worst parts about all this, for sure. But Rob, we're talking about the new normal today, and there's nothing new about the new normal. What is your thoughts on what the future is going to be like, especially with Biden?
I'll be honest with you, Paul. Like, I don't really follow politics that much. That it's
Perfect time for that to break up with Rob.
Yeah. If he's still going too.
Yeah.
okay.
I probably can give you a little insight on that one. Well, Rob gets his
That's a great
That's it.
spot.
Rob's just stuck there, right? I'll just speak in lieu of Rob right now. The in terms of this thing with Biden and whatever, I think that this is just my opinion. I don't really have any basis, but I think that the next few months we're probably still going to go through the same thing with the COVID, the same measures, the same numbers, the same craziness, whatever. And then I think that after if it's Biden or if it's Trump, whoever wins this election, I think that once they swear in the next president, I think that this will just start to fade away because I think COVID has accomplished what it needs to do. And in terms of this election and whatever else it is, obviously we know people have gotten sick and died, but if you look at it just from a bigger picture and just take the virus outside of it and just what COVID has actually done, I think that people will start to see that this will just start to fade away in the new year. That's just my opinion, though.
So, Rob, right where you left off, you don't follow politics.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, I don't really follow the politics too much, but like I was saying, as far as the the new normal is, I was just saying that it depends on who you're talking to. If you're just talking to like the average person, I think the new normal is going to be pretty different, because they're going to have to, abide by whatever restrictions the government's saying and stuff. And I'm not saying not to, go along with some of the procedures that they're saying or whatever. But all I'm saying is that if you're talking to like a Bible believing Christian, then the new normal is just going to be the old normal, which is, just keep doing what we're supposed to do. Right. It doesn't matter the circumstances. Like, what are we supposed to do when the tribulation hits? When that's the new normal, are we just supposed to do like live our life any different? We're supposed to keep going out soul winning, assemble for church, read our Bibles, pray. It's like the Bible says, Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever, right? So we have to kind of model that. We have to stick to our guns as Christians. And I think we should just keep on going soul winning. It doesn't matter what the circumstances are. So even under COVID, just keep going soul winning, do what you got to do. I think God's going to bless that. I believe he's going to put a hedge about the Christians that do that. And, it's basically, we're going to create our own normal, right? We're just going to keep doing what we need to be doing and stick to our guns. I don't think we should be changing anything. I don't think we should be afraid of what's going on either.
Yeah, I would agree with that. That we shouldn't be afraid. Like, if you just look at the statistics for the COVID, like 99.9% of the people recover. So, it's probably just, no more serious than the flu. Maybe it is a little bit more serious than flu. I don't know. But, either way, we shouldn't be afraid because, we have if you get it, we have a pretty good chance of surviving it, like 99.9%. I'll take those odds. And we should just go on with our lives. We've lost so much. We've sacrificed so much. Given up so much. Everybody's running in fear. You just go out on the streets. We were actually out in Toronto at an anti-mask rally a couple of weekends ago, soul winning, and I hadn't been to Toronto in months for soul winning. Like I've been in and out of the city, but to actually just go soul winning, that was the first time probably since the quarantine that I'd gone there. And I got out of my car and I just started talking to people and. I wasn't wearing a mask, and because I wasn't wearing a mask, people literally were running away from me. Like at one point, I was like, "Hey, why are you running away? I'm not doing anything." And the guy's like, "I don't want to get what you got," and he's like running down the street, and I was there for a good hour or 2 hours, and you couldn't talk to anybody. They're just literally downtown Toronto. They were just running away. So, this whole COVID fear thing is just, we shouldn't fear. Like, what are we scared for?
Yeah, people are so scared right now. It's a little ridiculous. Like, for instance, I have some loved ones who, wouldn't even leave our house. They came and visited us for like 3 weeks. We thought we were going to go do a bunch of amazing things, and they would not even leave our house. They were that scared of getting it, and it's just like, ugh.
Actually, I have a funny story. It's not funny. It's a sad story if you really think about it, but it's kind of, it kind of just makes you wonder. I had gone to during the quarantine, during the height of all this COVID scare where nobody knew what was going on or whatever. I actually went to order a pizza, and there was a guy and his girlfriend. They'd come in, and they were fully covered. Mask up to here. They had a hoodie on. You could just see just their eyes. They had long sleeves on. They had gloves on. They were walking like this, like they were like in snowsuits, like when you were a kid. And they ordered some food, and they ordered separately because I guess they didn't want to be together. And so the guy goes up first, and he orders a slice of pizza. And then he digs into his pocket, pulls his glove up, digs into his pocket, pulls out his change, counts his change, hands it to the guy, gets his slice of pizza, and then he goes back and he sits down and eats a pizza with the same hand that he touched all this money with. Meanwhile, he's all masked up, all right? Then his girlfriend basically does the same thing. But she goes outside and she sits down and eats her pizza. So I get my pizza, I walk out, and at that point I'm like, well, I'm going to ask these guys are so scared. I'm going to ask them, if they they're going to heaven. So the girl wouldn't listen to me. So I talked to her boyfriend as he come walking out. And I said, hey, do you know if you die, if you're going to heaven? And he's like, I don't care about God. I don't fear God. I don't fear death. I love the Satan. And I was like, well, then, what are you covered up for? If what are you fearing for? If you don't fear death and you don't care about God, then why are you all masked up and hiding from everybody? And then he just ran away because he was afraid I was going to give him COVID or something. So that's just kind of just gives you the mentality of what's going on in people's heads. Like, you ask them if they know if they're going to heaven. They're wearing the mask because they're afraid they're going to die from some illness. And then you ask them about Jesus, and they run away from you. They ask them if you know they're going to heaven. They don't even want to hear you. So the mentality is just backwards.
I don't know. I mean, to me, I think I think people are worried about COVID probably because they're not saved. People that are saved, we got bigger fish to fry, right? So I know Shane was saying his story, the guy was saying I'm not afraid of God or death or whatever. But I mean, that's that might be an exception, just because I think the average person, when stuff like this happens, they get all worried and everything because they're not saved. If we're saved, what do we got to worry about, right? We just keep on, moving forward, doing what we got to do. That's about it.
Yeah, for sure. And we gotta put our life in God's hands too. We have to just say, if it's our time to go, it's our time to go, and just live our life.
But you know what I noticed, Paul? I noticed that, and me and Shane were talking about this a while ago, is that they came out with some exemptions for people, if you had a medical exemption, or I guess you guys got the same thing down there. If you have a religious exemption or, medical exemption or whatever, you can just say that and you don't have to wear the mask, right? But we were talking about this a while back, that's only going to last for a certain amount of time. And eventually, you're not going to be able to claim that you have an exemption. They're just not going to care. And I actually went earlier today into the grocery store to grab something. I was just out doing some errands. And I told the guy, because wherever you walk in, they screen you and stuff, right? And I told the guy, he asked me, where's my mask? Because Shane, I don't really wear a mask. 99.99% of the time, I don't wear one, right? And I told the guy, hey, I have an exemption. He's like, it doesn't matter. If you don't have a mask, you're not allowed in here. And it's just company policy. And I've actually run into a few places now that they don't even care if you have an exemption. It doesn't matter what you say. You're not going in without a mask. So things are getting to the point where you can't even claim to have an exemption. And I mean, you're just going to have to wear the mask, and that's it. Like, have you noticed anything like that over there, or are you still able to, claim that you have an exemption?
No, I haven't noticed that at all here in Michigan, but when I was living in Arizona, it was intense. Everywhere you went, it seemed like was like that, especially grocery stores. I was like the biggest offenders.
Yeah. But I don't know. I found that like during this COVID thing, I've just tried to stay, true to what God wants me to do, soul winning and stuff like that. I found actually like I feel like God's put a hedge around me and like, some of my friends that are doing the same thing. Like I hear of a lot of people, like I'm in manufacturing, so I'm more like in the automotive and aerospace industry, metalworking industry. I make cutting tools and stuff. And the aerospace industry has just taken like a huge hit. Like I went to visit one of my customers yesterday, and they like this is a pretty big customer, not a big customer for me, just a big company. They don't give me like a ton of work, but they had a new project for me to look at, and they told me that they laid off since this COVID thing started about 60% of their workforce, and they have several plants, like they have a lot of employees. And that would just I feel like there's a lot of people that are slow and they're suffering with their business and stuff like that. And when the whole thing hit in March, like things were pretty dead for me for like 2-3 months. And that's the time that I decided to go visit my dad out on the West Coast, take a road trip and stuff. So I'm glad I did that because things were pretty dead here. But after that, for the next several months, things really picked up. And when they started reopening stuff, like all the backlog of work started flooding in, and things were busy. But then they slowed down again in September. But they're starting to pick up a little bit now. But I feel like just all I got to worry about, I'm not going to worry about work or anything like that. I'm just going to keep doing what God wants me to do. And I feel like God's been blessing me because, I hear of a lot of people being slow, but at the same time, work's still coming in. You know what I mean? Even people that I know that are doing the same kind of work that I'm doing, and they're suffering, but yet, I'm not even doing a whole lot of sales. I'm not really going out actively trying to pursue work, but yet work still comes in. Even work that from customers I haven't dealt with in a while, or even new jobs and stuff like that, it's still coming in. It's still putting food on the table. So I believe that the reason that's happening is because, I've decided to just focus more on what God wants me to do and not really worry about the current like circumstances and the whole COVID thing, and just kind of do what I need to do. Put God first, and he'll feed me and he'll take care of me. I find that's what's been happening with me and, some of my friends too. So I think that should be the priority for us Christians, right?
Well, I really feel like this whole, COVID thing has really, hurt a lot of people economically. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate to what you just said. I know me, it definitely impacted me quite a bit when it first happened. And I think most people were just hesitant at first to purchase anything because they didn't know, like, where's this thing going? Like, is this going to be a breakout and, tens of millions are going to die in the streets? Like, that's what they made it out to be, that people were just going to be dropping like flies. And I think at this point, people realize that those original statistics or numbers are really inflated. And so I think eventually people started to start buying things again and to, go about their daily life. But still, it seems like a lot of businesses are still shut down. And I feel like, for instance, some churches, and not to change the topic too much, but I feel like some churches are using this whole thing as an excuse to not have services. I went to visit a church last night, and we drove by it the other day, and we saw, oh, look at this Baptist church. King James Baptist Church looks great. The sign said 6 o'clock Wednesday night service, or 6:30 Wednesday night service. And we're like, awesome, let's go check this out. And so we went last night, 6:25, we rolled in right on time. And there's no one in the parking lot. I'm like, what in the world? Like, it's it's been so long. Why aren't people back in church yet? And I feel like it's some people, they're just using it as an excuse to just stay out of church.
Yeah, one of the churches that I was frequenting like before COVID, they still are not open with no intention of opening. They're kind of spoke to the deacon. I was messaging him, and he's saying, "Well, we're not allowed to sing. So, if we're not allowed to sing, then we're not going to open." But, every church that I've been to since they've reopened in Canada, they've all sang. So, I'm not sure. Now, it is an older congregation, so maybe that's, maybe they're worried about that, and I get that, and I'm not really judging them, but I guess maybe I am. I don't know. I don't want to judge them, right?
Yeah.
Because I understand why they're closed.
But I think it all falls back into the fear thing. They're just so it's sad to see so many people just so fearful.
Yeah.
Of this virus.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And that's basically what it all boils down to. It's they're afraid for their health. And and I guess as a church, they decided that they're not going to open the doors. And I get it. I'm not angry with them. I'm not upset with them. I'll just go to another church. But just getting back to what Rob said, I about people are afraid of everybody thought like 10 million people are going to die here and there and everywhere. I was referred people back to some of the movies that they've referenced over. When COVID started, about like that movie Contagion or Outbreak or something like that, they made us believe that the pandemic or this virus was going to look like a scene out of these movies where, you're walking down the street and people are dropping dead, and like if the way they made this sound, if it was true, we wouldn't have to watch the news every day to figure out how bad it was, because you just walk down the street and you would see it. Right?
I mean, it was the longest time before I even knew someone that actually had it.
Yeah.
Like, it was months before I knew of anyone that had it.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, and anybody that I've known that's had it, and I've heard, a couple family friends of a friend, somebody's died of something, they said COVID, but, I don't know the person personally. I don't know the story, so I can't really speak to that. I'm sure there has been people that died of COVID. But the people that I've known, they said it's just been like a nasty cold, a nasty flu or whatever. And the one guy that I know, he got sick, and I said, hey, keep in touch. And like 2 weeks later, I'm calling the guy. I'm like, hey man, you still alive? And he's like, oh man, I went back to work a week after. He goes, it only lasted a week. It was no big deal, right? So so that's the other thing. And these small businesses and stuff. The safest place to not get COVID is to go to McDonald's or Starbucks, because you're definitely not going to get COVID there, right? So,
right. Yeah. Well, we finally have Logan on the line. No, we do.
Are you sure?
I'm not 100% positive.
I think I'm close enough to civilization. I might be okay.
Look at that! Listen to that strong signal, people. Listen to that strong signal. Clear. Well, Logan, we are talking about the new normal today. How's life in the Logan household? How's life on the road, I guess I should say?
Yeah, I got a couple of stories. So, I caught I don't know how it is out there in the rest of, with you guys, but the hoarding has officially started in Arizona. Have you guys noticed it where you're at?
No.
So when we went into lockdown in Arizona, there was a horrible hoarding trend that happened.
Oh, with the toilet paper and everything. Yeah.
Right. In the greater Phoenix area, it was just like total hoarding of all paper products. And then you couldn't get like rice and all kinds of food products you couldn't get. And so about a week or so ago, I just kind of had a feeling like the election was coming up. And I had a feel like you could hear the talk about the second wave and everything. And I was like, these idiots are going to go for it again. And so my wife had just, because we do it, like we'll do like a big restocking. And she'll go out and go to Costco and Sam's Club and get all the big, the big bundles of everything and like double and triplicate. And I told her, she had like literally, she was driving back home. She had just done that. And I was like, put the kids back in the car. I want you to go and buy everything you just bought. I want you to go buy it again. Like, just go buy it. Just double it up. And so we're like totally stocked. And like soon enough, like days after I told her to do that, it was all off the shelves. It was all gone.
Wow.
Wait, well, what are they nervous about now? What's the thing to worry about
I think
now?
it was the election. I think Facebook does play a huge part of it. I think if anyone, because I saw one post like the day before, I had kind of been thinking about it, and the day before, I saw a lady post that like some shelves were bare, like that, like, hey, you know, like, what's the deal? Are we hoarding again? You know, like, there's a couple things gone. And like as Jensa was there at the store, she was like, yeah, these ladies were like running to get cleaning supplies. So it's the things that go is it's all the cleaning supplies, all the bleach wipes, all of the toilet paper, paper towels, all the paper products, and then they'll do like rice and things like that. That's what gets scooped up. And so like even like as a trucker, as I'm going around, like I'm noticing that like there's more, like they're moving water more. Have you know, there's more shipments of water. Like when you look at the back end of stores, there's more water than there like you think there should be. You know, so yeah, they're definitely. I think it's just because of the election, you know, and because there's so much uncertainty, you know, with everything that came from that.
Yeah, this world is getting crazy, man.
Yeah.
But also my older sister just got out of the hospital from having COVID-19.
Who?
My older sister. So
Oh,
my older
really?
sister got it. She had gone in she had gone to the hospital like a week before. It's kind of weird how they handled her because like she, you know, had the symptoms, goes to the hospital and gets tested, and the ER doctor was like mad at her that she would come in, and like he was like mad at her that she was like gonna contaminate everyone. She's like, well, am I supposed to go to the hospital? And they're like, here's a prescription, go home. So they sent her back home. My wife went and like picked up the prescriptions for her, dropped it off at the door. And then a couple days later, like she can't, like she feels like she can't breathe. So they admit her into the hospital, and she's got like full on like double pneumonia and coronavirus. So
Where does she think she got it?
Yeah, no, I have no idea. Not sure, just because they, you know, like I'm pretty sure. I mean, just where it's, you know, like they. I know she was working from home. I think she had just started to go back into work. So who knows where you pick it up from, but like they had given her some medicine. She was in there for maybe 4 or so days, and got out today. So, well, yeah.
What did they give her in the hospital? Do you know? Like,
I don't know. They had her on. They had a program on. She went in there like Sunday or Monday, and they had like a treatment program.
All right. Well, we lost her.
Well, she had a treatment program, right? Was it the same one that Trump had? Or
All I know is we have a serious fruit fly infestation.
we do. I don't know what happened down here, but they showed up for the last bit of the live stream here. So,
all right, we got you back. What was the question you asked him, Shane?
what did they give her? You said she was on some kind of a regimen or something.
Yeah, they had some kind of, you know, like scheduled regimen they put her on that she responded well to, and so she was going to get released Friday, but she responded well, so they let her go a day early. So obviously she wasn't on the Trump stuff where, you know, she was out the next day feeling like Superman.
Right. Now, did she when she got to the hospital? Like, was she? Obviously, she didn't get put in a ventilator. Do you know if they like segregated her, or did they put her in a room with, you know, a bunch of old people, or like?
No, yeah,
you know, like.
So, no. I think she was in her own spot. But it's like, yeah, like I can only imagine being like elderly, or, you know, like even for her, you know, because she's a single mom, and like you can't. There's no visitors, so like she was posting pictures like her she could see into the parking lot. So her teenagers, they figured out like where they could stand for her to see them, and so they would call her. They would go every day and call her on the phone, and she would talk to them, and like she could see them from the window in the parking lot.
What floor was she
And they
on?
would
She
talk
was
on the
like
phone.
on floor 12 and then waving to them?
No, they're not that high here in Arizona. I don't know, like 3 or 4 stories.
Oh, okay.
But no, like you can. That's the whole thing. Like in the hospital, like you go, you have visitors, and it helps because the hospital is miserable.
Right.
The food's miserable. The food stinks.
Well, you would
And they're
know.
poking
You would
in
be.
Prodigy. Yeah, for
You'd be
real.
one that
I would
knows
know.
what the hospital's like. How
Yeah,
long?
you can't
How
get
long
any
did you
sleep
spend in the
or-
hospital when you shattered your leg?
I was there. I mean, I had like 13 surgeries.
Wow.
So I would do a couple week stretches here or there, or I would do a handful of days. Most of them were like handful of days. Obviously in the beginning was where I was in there for a few weeks. But the hospital's no fun because you can't get any, like, you're supposed to get, like, you think like, oh, I'm gonna get some rest. Like a hospital, like that's super important about health and recovery is letting your body have rest, right? But you can't get any rest because every 45 minutes they're in there like poking you, prodding you, taking your temperature, so like you're constantly, even all through the night, you're constantly being woken up. And so like it totally messes up your sleep. You don't get any sleep. You feel super tired. But yeah.
So
She's out, so that's good.
So have you talked to her since she's been out? Like how she
I haven't talked to her since she's been out. I think she just got out today. So.
Oh, okay.
Well, let's change the subject here a little bit. I want to know about your trucking lifestyle, man. How do you dig in trucking?
Yeah, like I've done a lot of things. I've done a lot of different jobs. White collar jobs, blue collar jobs. This is like, it's a pretty sweet deal. Like you're basically you're cruising around in and I'm sure obviously I drive a van, right? So what they call it a van is basically a box trailer. So I don't have to climb up on a flatbed and strap stuff down, and I don't have to unload it. It's all, I'm pulling up to the dock. They have lumpers that are loading it, unloading it. So I'm literally just sitting and driving. So like I just now that the weather's cool off, I literally look like I roll out of bed. Like I got my sweatpants, my little flip-flop sandals and socks, and I just kind of stroll in and give them the paperwork, and they the guys are in there with their masks on, moving this product around, and I just cruising to the next spot. So it's a pretty sweet gig. I'm liking it a lot. Feel like I was made for it.
Well, I know Shane can relate to the trucking lifestyle. Shane trucked all the way over to here.
Yep.
And his huge truck is in my driveway right now.
Yes,
Which-
it is.
I don't know. Is this going to be the last time you can come see us, Shane?
It might. Well, I'll be able to come see you, but you're gonna have to come get me because I don't know if I'll be able to get the truck in your driveway as the snow comes. Because
Oh yeah, you don't want to get stuck in that snow, yeah.
no, I have to. When I back up, I have to. There's a spot where I have to take the tractor into the mud or into the grass, and that eventually will turn into mud and to a big situation where I'm stuck. So we'll
Right, I
have to
imagine
avoid
after that first snow, it'll be over.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
It's just gonna be muddy.
Yeah, today I was kind of like I committed myself, and I'm like I better not get stuck, and
Right.
I didn't. So I this might be the last one.
Oh, that's sad. It's
Well, I'll still come down because
Yeah, I'll
I'm
have
only a
to go
few
pick
miles
you
up
up.
the road, so you just come pick me up
20 minutes away,
Yeah,
yeah.
20 minutes away. So
well,
Do you have a regular drop that's by Paul's?
yeah.
yeah, I do actually. There's a customer
that's
that
sweet.
we have that
20 minutes away,
literally
man.
is on the same road, 20 minutes up the street.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So when are you going to start getting your truck and driving out to Michigan?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've taken a load up to Michigan yet. I know my boss just kind of said that we try to stay, south for the winter. We're like birds, trying to stay south, trying to stay out of the weather.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that makes
We've
sense.
yeah, I don't know.
we've had it. We've had the weather. I've done a snowstorm already this year, so up in
I
Quebec.
did too.
So
the last week I was out, we hit one on the I-40 going into New Mexico, and it was snowing. Like, it wasn't too bad. Like, it was coming. Like, it was, snow was on the ground, and it was kind of snowing a little bit, but it didn't seem too bad. And I stopped to refuel, and I was trying. The couple of truckers were talking. And I asked, like, hey, what's the weather like? Where we're headed. I'm like, does it get better? Does it get worse? And they're like, oh, it gets way worse. I'm like, really? And they're like, oh yeah. They're like, right down the road, there's a 100-car pileup.
Oh,
coming
wow.
The other way. So we made it kind of like a split decision, just kind of take this kind of backcountry highway, and so we were in a snowstorm. Like the snow was coming down. Like it already, had a good level on, and so like there was big chunks of that road, because they regularly pave the big highways, the big interstates, but the backcountry roads they don't. Like the snow is just there until they get to it. Especially when they have a big problem. So we were kind of nervous, and it was my first time really driving in the snow. And we were like, my guy who was sitting next to me, he was like, "Yeah, you're on ice right now." And I'm like, you're just like, yeah, like no sudden movements. Try to like keep it real straight, real nice and easy. No braking. But it was a little sketchy. And they were like, sure enough, there was a semi that had spun out and was off the side of the road. The guy was like into like a tank top, kind of with his hand on his head, with his phone in his hand, taking pictures. Like, oh man, like he just ruined his day. Yeah. So it was sketchy, but it was kind of funny, like how God works. Like, so we got hit with that. We were delayed maybe like a total of 4 or 5 hours. And so that delay, actually, as that was happening, that's when the tropical storm that hit New Orleans real bad just last week was going through. And if we wouldn't have been delayed, we would have gotten hit in that storm, which had like 90-mile-an-hour wind.
Oh. So
that delay totally saved us from getting caught in that tropical storm, and we were able to kind of like cruise right underneath, like in its path of destruction, and like seeing all the billboards that were torn down and all that stuff. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool how that worked out.
Welcome to trucking.
I had a question.
Dude, I tell you my story about my deer?
Your deer? No.
Okay. So I drug a deer across 5 states.
What?
Oh.
What?
Yeah.
Well, you got him stuck?
Yeah. So my guy wakes me up in the middle of the night, and he was like, "Hey, it's your shift's up." So I go to the restroom in the rest stop. I come back, and it looks like there's a person on the A-frame of the landing gear, and I'm under the trailer. I'm looking under there. I'm getting closer. I'm like, okay, oh, it's a deer, and I'm looking at it, and it's a full deer. Like, and the leg around the A-frame, it's like its leg and its entrails were like kind of draped, or looked like maybe like they were like wrapped and entwined like around it. And then the rest of the torso and the head and the arms and everything was kind of like on the ground, like being dragged behind it. And I'm like, oh man. And so I go in, and my guy had like just made dinner, right? Like he had like warmed up his food. He's like sitting down to eat. And I'm like, did you hit a deer? And he was like, oh man, like he was like, I was already dead. I ran it over. And I'm like, yeah, it's caught on the A-frame. I'm like, do you want to look? And he just goes, I just want to eat my dinner. And I'm like, okay, like, so you want me to just leave it? He was like, I'm like, maybe it'll come off. And he just kind of shrugged his shoulder. He goes, maybe, but I don't know, because that was like an hour ago.
Oh, wow.
So he had already been drinking, I think, for an hour. And so I was like, okay, man, like, you're the boss. Like, we'll just keep going. So that was in South Carolina. So then to Georgia, Alabama,
Wow.
Mississippi, and all the way down to New Orleans. By the time we got to New Orleans, it was basically just like half a carcass. Like the head was gone, the arms were gone. It was kind of like a half a carcass and one leg.
You realize that stuff that people make TikTok videos out of, right? Like there's look at this truck driver driving with a deer underneath of him, right?
Full deer under his truck.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
closest I ever came to that is I actually seen it. I met a deer. He was like staring at me as I drove by him on the interstate. He came up to my window and kind of looked at me. He was just walking, and we just kind of both our eyes opened up wide as I drove by. And then the other instance I had was I actually ran over a deer. Well, it was dead already, but I ran over it, and it looked like a murder scene on the side of my truck. Just the amount of blood that came up from it. But I never got anything caught under the truck, so I guess you got me on that one.
He's definitely have one up on you.
He's definitely got one up on me.
It's not. Yeah, it's a little scary, like, because when you're driving at night, they're on the side of the road.
Yeah, exactly.
And so in a flash, they look up and they see you, and you're just like, just stay there, buddy. Like, stay, like,
well,
they just jump. They can jump right out in front of you.
That's what I said, because he, like, the one that I seen, he was literally on the, like, I was, you're in the slow lane, right? He was kind of just walking straight down the fast lane, and as I drove by him, because I just seen him, I'm like, he just like looked over like, yo, what's up, right? And I'm like, please don't come over, right? Because I don't want to kill. I don't want us to both to die tonight, right?
Did you guys get any damage on the truck?
No, not on my truck.
No. I mean Logan, when he carried the deer 5 states.
No, because it just I think it just got sucked up with like the vibration, the wind, just kind of like perfect snare. And that A-frame is kind of is one of the lower hanging pieces.
I don't know what the A-frame is, honestly. Where is the A-frame? Help us picture this.
So you have the tractor, right? The truck, okay, and you have the 2 axles that go behind it, right? They kind of like stick out towards the back. Those are your drive axles. And then the trailer actually kind of overhangs that. Like, that's where it hooks on. And then the wheels are in the back, right? Well, so basically, if you were to put the truck and the trailer together, like as one picture, the landing gear is kind of right in the middle, right? And those are the landing gear is like the little platform that kind of you can see as you pass the truck, little pads that you can crank down, and that's where you can unhook the truck from the trailer, right? Well, there's a bar that goes across in the middle, right? That kind of gives it some rigidity and strength.
Is that what he's talking about, Shane? Right here?
No.
What?
Keep going. Keep explaining.
What? No, that's it. Yeah.
So it's on the trailer, on the tractor, right?
No, on the trailer.
By the landing gear?
Yeah, the landing gear has a frame, like
the frame of the landing gear. Yeah. Okay. All right.
The frame of the landing gear stretches across. It connects to give it strength.
Pull up a trailer.
And so there's a bar that comes across the middle, and that's where that thing got just sucked up on.
All right, we're gonna get down to the bottom of this.
I still have a piece of it on the truck
deer
right now.
Oh,
there's a piece of jerky on the truck right now. Like it had a full. My guy unhooked it and dropped it, got it off of there when we finally stopped, and then we went and got it a full gave it the truck and trailer a full wash, and there's still a piece of it. There's still like a little chunk of jerky hanging there.
All right, we have a picture on the screen right now showing what an A-frame is. We finally figured it out.
Everybody knows.
Yeah, that is crazy. So it's just hanging there.
What's funny is because when we went to New Orleans, we dropped it off. We went and picked up our next load in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and we went to a Cajun restaurant. And at the Cajun restaurant, it had all kinds of venison, and we were kind of laughing, like, "Oh man, they must have already grabbed him and made some food from him."
Yeah, I'm sure there would have been a trucker out there somewhere that might have tried to gut that thing and make sausage or something along the way, right?
It was gnarly, dude.
Yeah. Have you seen?
Dude,
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. What were we gonna ask?
Have you driven by those truckers that you drive by and you see their window? They got like the cooler and the microwave in the passenger seat. Have you seen that yet?
I haven't seen it in the passenger seat. No.
Yeah, I seen one guy. He had like a fridge and a microwave in the passenger seat beside him. Like he had like a total restaurant like right there. You could just see the top of his head, and and he just like completely converted the whole passenger area to a restaurant. So
that's what. Yeah, I mean, if you're by yourself, like, I'm sure like once I kind of have like my regular truck.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll have it configured just exactly how I want it, make it super convenient. So.
That's it. That's what you do.
Logan. I don't think
it's cool, like going around because you you get the local flavor, like, you know, because you have a lot of there is a lot of downtime that you have in the life. So you like whether you're waiting for a load or something like that, you know, you can you have a couple hours here or there, and so you can kind of treat yourself sometimes when you have the time. So when we were in Baton Rouge, we went to a Cajun restaurant and got all kinds of, you know, crackling, which is like, I never heard of that before. It's bacon.
Crackling's awesome.
It's like, yeah, it's like thick cut chunks of bacon that's been deep fried twice.
It's deep fried pork fat, like pork skin fat, right?
It's pork belly.
Pork belly,
bacon,
yeah.
like chunks of it that's been deep fried twice. And they had, just all kinds of bacon wrapped and deep fried this and that. Yeah, it was awesome.
Did you get any boudin?
No, it was what do they call them? They were called boudin balls.
Boudin balls?
Like
oh man, those are awesome.
Dude, they're crazy. They're like bacon wrapped short ribs and cream cheese. And dude, like I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I text Louisiana Steve. I was like, hey man, next time I'm in town, I'm gonna hit you up. I'm gonna get some etouffee.
I'm starving right now too. This is a bad conversation.
that all that stuff that you're talking about, Louisiana Steve used to have all that in his restaurant. And I used to go see him probably.
What's happened to Louisiana Steve?
He's still around. He's still around.
I haven't heard.
Yeah.
Hiding a hair of him.
But he had a restaurant down there, and he used to boil crawfish. And
he doesn't have any more?
Yeah, he sold it just recently, and he's still doing his golf carts. But his restaurant, all that stuff that you're talking about, Logan, he had all that stuff in his store, and I used to visit him probably every other month. And I would actually, a funny story, he actually brought to a soul winning marathon, he bought me 35 pounds of crawfish in a cooler.
I think I had some of that.
Well,
didn't you give me some?
Didn't he bring etouffee with him?
Yeah, he brought etouffee, but he brought me a cooler full of
we
crawfish.
Didn't get the taste of that. We were there for that. I think Rob's been trying to get a word in.
Yeah, sorry.
Here. Rob, what was your question for Logan?
I was just gonna say, like, I don't think Logan's got to really be too worried about, sending gents out for, because people are hoarding and the supermarkets and Costco. Like, if he's running low on food, all he has to do is just go out for a run in his truck. He's gonna come back with enough food for like months.
Yeah, exactly. Do we lose Logan again?
Logan? Oh, maybe we lost him.
Oh man.
All right. Well, anyways.
You gotta be kidding. Maybe we just
The new normal is the trucker lifestyle, I guess.
Yeah,
I guess we should all just become truckers and,
Yeah, right.
just head down to Louisiana for boudin balls, right?
Well, I really appreciate everyone tuning in to the program today. Make sure you head over to our alternative sites, BitChute and Brighteon, and subscribe over there, guys. And make sure you thumbs up this video. We really want to get people over to those other channels now. So we want to keep reminding people to head over there. So I really hope you guys head over there. And another thing, before we get back to the scheduled program, I want to show you some of the
T-shirts right here. I got one on.
Yeah, oh yeah, there you go.
Where it is?
Plandemic.
There it is.
So
Plandemic.
we finally got these all printed, guys.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't say all of them. We got a lot of them printed.
They
I
look
survived
great.
2020, and look, custom made tags.
Yep.
I survived 2020. We got Plandemic.
That's what I'm wearing.
Yep. And we got Say No to Mandatory Vaccines. And COVID-19 fake news. So we got all those done.
And you got hashtag soul winner.
And we have a bunch of them. They're all scattered around us right now as we speak because we've been printing them nonstop for the last 2 days, or trying to print them. I also have a whole stack of T-shirts to my right of junk mess ups that I screwed up, but
they'll be fine. they make great rags, right?
yeah, they make great rags.
Check your oil,
What's
Actually, Logan could probably use them to clean the deer, the deer meat off of his truck.
right.
So you could probably sell them to Logan.
Well, the T-shirt biz was a great idea in theory, and then having never done it,
Yeah.
and then once you start doing it, you realize that like.
I was in the T-shirt business for one night. A friend of mine had a T-shirt making machine, and he gave me all the equipment and everything. And he was like, "If you like it, just pay me later." and I went home and I was going to become the next T-shirt mogul. And me and my friend, we sat there and we were trying to make three T-shirts because I was going to a conference and we just wanted 3 T-shirts for each of us to go to this conference. And it took us all night to get these 3 T-shirts, and that was it. I packed it up and I took it back to my buddy and I said, "Nah, T-shirt business isn't for me."
I'm good.
So yeah, I'm good, man. I'll have somebody make my T-shirts for the cost of it.
I just remember you having to bedazzle like 1 million shirts at the conference.
Yes, yeah. Actually, another funny
that's
story.
Like all you did. That's
That's all I did.
You were just sitting there and bedazzling shirts.
Yep. There's actually a picture of the Toronto Soul Winning Marathon. I have the picture somewhere where I'm actually bedazzling. Somebody took a picture of me bedazzling T-shirts at the movie theater. So,
Yeah.
another funny thing is the reason why the bedazzler came out is because I was in Paul's house and I'd ordered one of those T-shirts that we ended up bedazzling, and he was putting check marks in the original T-shirt. So if you ever see the T-shirts, the Soul Winning Marathon T-shirt with red check marks, those are actually Paul's handiwork.
Yeah.
And he made one of these T-shirts for me, and all he told me the whole time he was doing it of how much it was a horrible idea of him making this T-shirt and why did he do it, and he's nuts. And then I show up to his house today and it's like T-shirt pandemic over here. It's like there's T-shirts falling everywhere, right? So
yeah, I did like how a couple months ago Paul was like, "I'll never do another T-shirt again.
Yeah.
It's the worst idea. I don't know why I did T-shirts.
yeah. Yeah.
2020 pandemic T-shirt."
Yeah. And he did 9 styles.
Yeah, not only did I decide to do this without having done it one time, or I did it once. I haven't done it in 20 years. So not having done it in 20 years and not anything professional, just like, whatever. And then I'm like, I'm going to do 9 different designs.
And I told you, don't do 9 designs, do 3. And see what happens. 9 designs. They're everywhere. Logan, you've got to see this floor. There's T-shirts everywhere.
Everywhere.
It's carnage everywhere. Actually, during this live stream, the machine that cures the writing that's on here, Paul's like, "What's that beeping? I hear beeping. Do you hear beeping?" And I'm like, "I don't hear any beeping." He's like, "Yeah, there's something beeping." It was the machine. We'd left it on all night. It's beeping like it's overheating in the corner. So you could just imagine what's going on here in the background with these T-shirts. It all looks all nice and proper over here, but it's pandemonium over here.
Right. Oh yeah, like wherever the camera's facing, it's like and then everything around that.
Yeah,
it does look like a bomb went off in here, man. It's pretty intense.
Has the studio got to the point where Teresa just like doesn't come down there anymore? She's like, "Nah, I'm not cleaning up this mess."
No, she doesn't come down here.
Yeah, no. We ordered Paul ordered some drinks earlier for a live stream, and they still we've gone up twice to get the drinks because she hasn't come down.
It's just like, I'm not even going down.
Yeah. Teresa's abandoned ship already.
That's funny.
Well, we haven't really talked about the
Yeah.
normal too much on this show.
Yeah.
But what is some thoughts here? What do you think the future is going to be like here, Logan?
I thought you just said talk to Rob. And you like,
well, Rob.
Is Rob on the phone?
Rob is there waiting patiently, and
do you not hear Rob?
I haven't heard Rob say one thing the whole time.
yeah.
Rob, speak.
Right.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
There we go.
What's up, buddy?
Oh man,
Like no,
like no man's land.
it's like everyone's on low mute.
Is that?
It's Josiah.
We got Josiah here.
It's 1 o'clock in the morning. If my wife knew he
What
was
is
down.
this? What's
It's 1
happening?
o'clock in the morning. If my wife knew he was down here right now.
This is part of the chaos of the
Send that kid to
T-shirts.
what?
I said this is part of the chaos of the T-shirts. It's so chaotic down here that Josiah has snuck down outside of bed to participate in a live stream with us at 1 o'clock in the morning. That just goes to show you what's going on over here at the Wittenberger household.
So, anyways, Rob, what do you got to offer here?
I don't know, man. I've been just listening to you guys. You guys are hilarious, man. Your trucking stories and everything, and Logan massacring animals in like every state.
In 5 states.
What?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, this is the new normal, I guess. This is where
Yeah.
COVID has taken us. This is COVID. This is what happens.
Yeah, T-shirts and trucks.
T-shirts and trucks and poor deers driving across 5 states.
But on the positive note, guys, the T-shirts turned out great. So
They are great.
I'm only
Yes.
sending out the good ones.
T-shirts.
The pile over to my right is not getting sent out.
Those will be deer cleaners, remarketed, rebranded, new coming to the Framing the World website. You need a rag for something? We got it.
Right. Get your ass.
High quality too.
I think Mr.
Actually, speaking of the quality, the T-shirts, the quality is really nice. They're very comfortable, very soft.
Yeah, they're totally different. fabric.
When Paul was telling me his idea of T-shirts, like I'd made T-shirts before, like my one night of being a T-shirt mogul, but I over the years I'd done a lot of T-shirts for different things, and I was particular to one brand, and Paul says I'm going to get a better brand than that, and he actually really did. He got a really nice, it's a really nice T-shirt. So.
Well, that's one of the things that's awesome because I can, since I'm not paying someone to do it, I'm paying myself 35 cents every 5 hours at this
You're
point.
losing money at this point.
You can get a higher quality shirt now.
So okay. So the question now is,
I can get large. I can get tall. I can get tall, big and tall.
Dude, that's what
I can,
That's
yeah.
What I need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my question is though, can you now? Because
Don't lose that.
what people I would get requests all the time of like, hey, I want this shirt, I want that shirt of your old stuff. Can you now do your old shirts if you want? Can you do like limited batches of your old shirts?
I can one color, bro. That's all I got.
Just one color.
One color
Okay.
because I'm not to that level, nor do I have the machine.
Okay. Okay, I got you. So you can do one color shirts.
Yeah, I thought I'd start small.
9 designs is small, huh? Okay.
No, I thought I'd start small because
What's the difference? What's the difference if you're printing a T-shirt just one color versus like different colors? Is it like, how does it work? Is it like some kind of
it's a screen. Here, I'll.
stencil, or how does it work?
Basically, you have to layer it. So if like I'm right now, I'm wearing a Plandemic shirt. If I wanted to do this like this white part in yellow, I'd have to like do the Demic part and the little logo underneath here, and then I'd have to like line up another piece over top and put a yellow screen over top. And if I wanted to put another color on that, I'd have to line up another color on that. Let's say I put a flag in there or something, or like a maple leaf or something. I'd have to line up that maple leaf and put it in there. So the more colors, the more layers, and the more lining up you have to do. It makes it way more difficult. So
what do you do?
See,
Like
here's
stages
this
and
is
stuff?
like the template you get, Rob. And so
Yeah.
if you wanted like the COVID-19 in white and then the fake news in a different color, you'd make 2 of these.
yeah.
Well, honestly, you just use the one tape over. But if it was more intricate, you'd have to get 2 different ones and do it. But yeah. So it took me a few days to figure out how to properly even do this.
Yeah.
So here's the question I have is that what if, okay, you probably noticed from selling T-shirts before that you might have, certain sizes that are more popular and they run out, and then you're left with sizes that, they're not as popular and you're kind of stuck with them and stuff. So, now that you're printing them yourself, wouldn't you just like, I don't know, just get the blank T-shirts as you need them,
Exactly.
and fill the orders, and then print them as you need them instead of getting stuck with stock?
That's exactly right. Yeah. So basically now I only print if they get ordered. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have an idea, Paul. I want to
Tell
see what
me.
you think.
Tell me.
What about doing a fan design T-shirt contest where fans of your show can submit their design
One
and you
color.
can make a T-shirt?
Yeah, I love that idea. One color.
One color.
Yeah, one
Okay,
color.
I
Yeah,
have an
exactly.
idea.
Just one color. Yeah.
For a T-shirt, you should make one with a semi-tractor trailer and a deer in front of it.
Yeah. 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 The more colors, just the more. Based on the one color carnage that was here, if you had put 2 colors in here, I might not be able to sit at this desk because there would just be a mountain of T-shirts here. But yeah, the more colors, the more room for error, the more waste. So One color is good right now, I think, for Paul.
Yeah, I'm learning basics over here. I'm
Yeah.
learning how to do the squeegee, how to do. I mean, I really feel a little overwhelmed right now. I felt like crying earlier because when you weigh 6 shirts and you just, nothing's going right, you're just like.
And he put me on quality control when I walked in the door too. So I was like pulling out shirts that he had approved, and I'm like, this isn't right, Paul. I'm just showing him, and he's like, damn, right? So, but the finished product, it does look great. Like the ones that now that he's kind of got the knack of it. All jokes aside, the t-shirts do look really, really good. They're nice quality. They're even this, like, having made shirts before, sometimes you'd get like this white here and it'd feel like a big plastic sheet on that would stick to your skin or something like that. You don't get any of that. It's
it'll
nice
be even
and
better
comfortable.
once you wash it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's one thing I miss and forget about hanging out with Paul. Is like as soon as you go to hang out with Paul, it doesn't matter like what event or what you're going to do or like what the reasoning is. Like you're immediately put to work.
Yeah, no kidding. That is so true. No, it doesn't matter where you. As soon as you show up, there's chaos.
Hey, you're here finally. Where have you been? Come here. I need you.
Yeah, or you get, I don't need you right now. I'm fine. Don't worry. Just take the night off. And like, no, Paul, I'm going to show up. The minute you show up like the night before early, and it's like chaos. Like, where were you? But he wanted you to show up the next day, right?
Yeah, you're early. You're super early. He's like, where have you been?
Yeah, exactly.
Why weren't you here?
Why weren't you here? Or I'm going to get up at 5 and I'm going to start. You just sleep in, and then you sleep until 6:30. He's like, where were you? And I'm like, you told me to sleep till 6. And he's like, but where were you? It's fine. And then he just starts. Yeah, Paul's the ultimate. What is that? Slave driver. Yeah. Cracks that whip.
You gotta do. I have an idea for one, like a new live stream. I think we should just like all just jump on and just do like an intervention with Paul.
This is the Paul Wittenberger we know, right?
Well, I appreciate you guys coming on the program at 1 o'clock. You have to have good friends that come on at 1 a.m.
Yep.
I was surprised. I was like, because it's late for me. I mean, it's 11 o'clock out here, so like you guys are late. Man.
Yeah,
we're killing it. Paul makes sure he gets every minute of my reset over here. When I come over, there is no time wasted when I come over. I walked out of the truck.
Sleep during this reset, right?
Yeah, exactly. I walked out of the truck,
And then he just
and
started
I walked
cooking.
downstairs, and immediately I went to the t-shirt machine.
Right.
There was no. I got a tutorial in how to cure the writing on the t-shirt in about 1 minute, and then Paul was gone. It was just like just keep going like this. Here's your stack of shirts, and that was it. And it hasn't stopped. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, and we're still going, and we're still going to be going after this. So
No, we're done after this.
yeah.
Are you tired then? I'm not tired.
What's that?
I said, Paul, he's running a sweatshop over there.
Hey, you want to come over here and visit sometime? Be careful and be ready.
Yeah, right. Careful.
Before I get there, man.
Okay, hey. So how do I get? My Orions are like on their last
Just
breath of
contact
life.
me. We'll hook you up.
Okay. Are you guys still slinging those or what? Not so much.
Yeah, not so much. We do have some stock left. That if somebody needs something, you can contact Rob or myself, and we'll hook you up. We can still get them. So we've just kind of gone. We've gone in a different direction with than the glasses. So that's about it.
All right. Well, Pete.
But we can still get
people
them, and we still have them.
Well, we need them, man. It's like crack over here. We just have to get.
They are
Fans
good,
of
aren't they?
Fans of Framing the World, if you're listening to this show, you need to contact Shane and Rob.
What's your
for the
email
best
address,
sunglasses you'll ever have.
They really are. And then the second you forget them, you immediately regret every life decision.
No, it's horrible. Your whole day is ruined.
Yeah.
Like my everything like moves around where my sunglasses are. Like I have to stop everything. Like where's the sunglasses at? I can't leave the house without them.
Aren't they the ultimate driving glass now that you're trucking?
No, yeah, I don't leave I do not leave my house without my Orion.
Well, I think we had to sell you on it too, though, Logan. If I remember correctly,
Oh, yeah.
you were a hard
Yeah.
sell.
It was. And in Africa, I was like, I remember.
Yeah, I remember.
Shane was
I remember
so
trying
gutted.
him, giving him a pair. He's like,
Yeah,
"Yeah, no big deal, whatever." And I'm like,
He
"Dude,
was
seriously?"
so gutted. I remember, yeah, because me and Shane, we hadn't had our burger unifying moment
Our bonding
yet, you know?
moment yet, yeah.
So I still was kind of like not on board with Shane. And so I remember he's like, these are the best sunglasses. You know, like, he's got the shirt and everything, and he's like, these are the blah blah blah, the sunglasses. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, dude. I think I literally said like, yeah, I've seen the infomercials of like the HD sunglasses. Like, I get it. Like, it's cool, you know, whatever. Like, it's not for me. Like, everything's green. Like, you know,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
cool, thanks. It's a thing like you can't just put them on. Like, you have to. If you just put them on, it's the colors is. It looks like you're in the Matrix, and so your eyes aren't used to it. If you wear those things, that's what we say. If you wear them for one day, you will never wear another pair of sunglasses again. Like, you
No,
just can't-
and
your eyes
if you
can't
go
handle it.
if you go back to the old pair of sunglasses,
You're
like get
miserable.
these things
You're
off
miserable.
of me. Like
Yep.
you can't even
Yeah.
wear them.
Yep. Yeah. You walk around literally. I've having wear them so long. I'll just be walking around and I'll be like, "What is wrong? Something is wrong." Like it's like you know that there's a disturbance in the force. It's like something's wrong. I don't have my sunglasses. Sometimes I just have them on my head, right? You get out of the truck,
Yeah.
and you got them on your head because you're looking at paperwork or something like that, and just like, "What is wrong?" And yep, don't have my sunglasses on. So yeah, but
How do they get a hold of you, Shane?
they can just give me a call or
Email?
Email.
Yeah, what's your email?
info@faithfulservants.ca.
info@faithfulservants.ca.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, we're way over an hour here. We're an hour and 10 minutes into the show. What's some closing thoughts here? Let's start with you, Rob, and then we'll go around.
I just had a lot of fun on the live stream, just hanging out with you guys. You know, it sucks that the border's closed. I know, like, Shane, he can cross over and stuff, but, you know, it'd be cool to just link up and have some fun.
Well, we got to get back out to Toronto, man, and do some more paintball gunning. And
Oh, man. Dude, how much fun did you have when you guys came up here?
it was like one of the best trips we've ever taken.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
awesome,
I
man.
had a blast. Yeah.
Hey, Logan, have you guys topped that sandwich that you got yet?
What sandwich?
Remember I took you guys for a sandwich in Toronto?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, that was a
I
legit
can't remember
sandwich.
the
You don't remember
sandwich.
the
That was a great
How do I
spot.
not remember the sandwich?
I took you
We
guys
went to a fancy sandwich spot, and it was very good.
Oh yeah. The one we drove 120 miles an hour, or no? No, that was
That was to
No, it
get
was a
Greek food.
place.
that was to get Greek food.
Yeah, that was Rob. Yeah.
that was.
But anyways, yeah, no, Toronto was. Yeah, we got to get you guys back up. I can't wait for the borders to open so that we can all just hang out again and just just joke around like this, just face to face. And
Well,
not
you
over
can
live
get,
shit.
Logan, you can get a flight from Arizona to Grand Rapids for like $70.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Man.
I flew all my family out here for like $220.
Wow.
6 people.
Spirit.
That's crazy, dude.
No, Allegiant.
Oh, really?
They just can't bring any bags with them.
Yeah, you have to get out. You give the plane a push start, and then you run and you hop in, and then the pilot takes off.
Yeah.
Yep.
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 But it's still way cheaper. And you don't need any clothes. I'll have all the tall t-shirts in
yeah,
the
all
world.
the t-shirts.
They didn't
right?
go
I just
anywhere,
wear big
didn't they? They
shorts.
stayed here, right?
Yeah.
So they didn't. What do they need clothes for? They just stay here. Just wash their clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Paul's got all those T-shirts.
And we
there.
all know
Yeah.
it's only 3 hours from Toronto, from the border.
yeah,
So,
quote unquote 3 hours.
yeah.
Time runs different over in Canada.
Yeah. Remember that, Rob? So we asked Rob. So Logan and I had this bright idea that we were gonna we're gonna fly into Detroit, get a rental car, and then drive into Toronto because it would save us so much more money. It would save us like, I forget, like $200-300. It wasn't that much, but we were like, let's save us like $300. And I asked Rob, I called Rob and was like, hey, I didn't Google it. I don't know why I didn't Google it. I just called Rob and I was like, hey, how long of a drive is it from Detroit to Toronto? He's like, 3 hours, 4 hours. Isn't that what he said?
Yeah.
Some-
It might have even been less than that.
Yeah, I think it was less than that. And so we're like, oh, cool. Then we'll just fly in there because
Yeah,
we'll
no
save
problem.
$300. No
I can
problem.
probably see him. I can see him right now. Like I can hear, like, A couple hours, bro. No problem. Like you're there. Doesn't that sound like Rob?
I've got a good story about that.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. We're already in overtime.
So we were going to a soul-winning. I think we were going to your conference, the conference that you had in Arizona. Yeah, we were going down to that conference, and I started heading down the highway that you take down to. We flew out of Detroit, and I started heading down to Windsor, and I was about halfway down to basically Detroit from Toronto, and Rob still had not left his house yet. And I'm like, bro, you got to go. We're going to miss this flight. And he's like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm on my way. And I don't drive slow. Anybody that knows me, I'm not Rob fast, but I do drive fast, right? So I'm clipping down to the border. I cross the border, get to the airport. Rob shows up 15 minutes later. He was an hour and a half behind me. He shows up 15 minutes after I did. Yeah.
Dude, Rob is... It's a problem.
He went the
Rob,
speed limit, of course.
we need an intervention with Rob because I don't want you to die. I don't want you to die young, Rob. Like you drive too fast. Guys, can we have an intervention with Rob? That's
I guess they don't want to see what we did during COVID with up in Muskoka then, I guess, huh?
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Well, I wonder what it was like with you guys and Nuremberg and the Nuremberg track when you were out there.
That was awesome.
Yeah, too much fun, man.
Actually, Rob went back.
If things ever open up again, we gotta plan some fun trips and get some soul winning in. And
we gotta go to Guyana. We gotta go back to Guyana. That's what we need to do.
Water.
Yeah, we gotta go.
Yeah, I didn't get to go on that trip, so I'd like to go.
Oh yeah,
you got to come to Cousin Wayne's.
Yeah, you got to go to Cousin Wayne's.
Yeah.
But the important question, Paul, is how many kids have you had since you drank that black water?
I think 3. I think we were talking about this the other day, Shane.
Paul is the OG for the Black Water Posse. He's got 3 kids. I think there's 1 more or 2 more kids out of the posse.
That's had it.
Yeah. So, but you have 3 so far since you drank the black water.
Well, Pastor Anderson's had a few.
He didn't drink the black water.
He never drank it?
I don't think he did. No. There was
He drank the black water.
He bathed in it though, so maybe he did.
He drank he would have drank the black water.
Right. Well, no, he didn't. No, he didn't drink it like you drank it, like where you're like, just open your mouth and take a sip. But there were on the last trip. I'm trying to remember who went. I think Caleb went. Was Caleb there?
I can't remember.
But there was 3 or 4 or 5 guys that actually, they took a drink of the black water in order to have, the Black Water Posse. And by then you had 1 or 2. And so there's 1 more. So the Black Water Posse starting to grow. We're going to have to get you down there, Logan and Rob. You guys can drink some black water and, be part of the posse.
Well, okay.
Yeah, I'll tap. Paul knows I do not drink strange water.
Yeah.
Paul yelled at me for not drinking water in Palestine.
The word on the street.
Out of the rock. Remember, I was like, just drink. It'll be fine. It's like the best water ever. He went all the way to Bethlehem. Okay, people, let's get real.
Now we're getting real, right?
Okay, Logan took a trip all the way to Bethlehem. There was water coming out of the rock of Bethlehem. Spring.
Was that David's well, right?
Yeah. No. I'm not sure.
Well.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he refused to drink it.
Yeah, I have a thing about not drinking water out of random orifices in third world countries. I don't know, call me crazy, but I'm not going to do it. I've been to Mexico. I've seen the carnage.
Well, the black water is Wayne says it's been tested and it's fine, and we've had 4 or 5 people drink it, no issues. But we're not talking about guzzling. We're talking about like a taste, right? So. Yeah. Cousin Wayne will get you to drink it. Don't worry, Cousin Wayne is very persuasive.
It's black water, bro.
It's tea. It's just just the herbs from the or the leaves from the trees they've made come down into water and made like a tea. That's kind of what it looks like, really.
It's probably true.
Yeah, no, that's the story Cousin Wayne told us. So
All right,
Yeah, that's probably right.
Logan, final thoughts, man.
So kind of wrap, the election like we're still wondering, like who's going to be the president, and all that. And what's going to be the new normal. The new normal is the old normal,
Yep.
Just live your life, go to soul winning, hug your kids, kiss your wife. And, and if you don't have those, then maybe don't talk smack about Paul Wittenberger online. And get your act together, get a wife and kids, and then maybe we could care what you have to say. So there's that. But just be a normal person, and maybe keep your thoughts to yourself sometimes instead of just running your mouth on the internet. Yeah, that's about it. That's it for me. For the single guys like to talk a lot of smack about people that are better than them. So. Yeah, that's it.
Well, I appreciate that, man. Rob, any final thoughts?
Let's do this again soon, man. Had a blast.
All right, Shane, are you about ready to go to bed here?
Yeah. Well, should I give the disclaimer now that the views expressed in this live stream do not explicitly
It already happened,
reflect, those of Framing the World and Paul Wittenberger, and we may, But in terms,
do you make a pile of shirts for Shane to sleep in, just like a bed, like a little bed?
I probably could.
We have a spare room.
Yeah,
we have a spare room.
I've got a room here. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm sure you got like 19 rooms in that house.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous house. You got to come see it, Logan. But
we're gonna bring the family.
Yeah. But getting back, just closing thoughts. This election, it's up in the air. Nobody knows what's going to happen. But like I said earlier, I think that once they actually put a president in office, that COVID, things will probably never be normal. But I think COVID will slowly just disappear. So, like Logan said, in the meantime, just go soul winning and just go to church, listen to do your thing, love your family, and just keep going. Pretend it's 2019.
Awesome. Well, that was a fun stream, guys. I appreciate everyone tuning in. Oh, what?
Rob's final thoughts.
What? I already asked Rob. He didn't say anything. Rob, what's your final thoughts?
Anything.
Just let's do this again, man.
Yeah,
Love
yeah.
You're right. Sorry, my bad.
But guys, I really appreciate everyone tuning in. It was a fun stream. I really appreciate good friends that come on your live stream at 1:30 now in the morning. But make sure you go to our backup channels, Brighteon and BitChute. Who knows how long we're going to be on YouTube. Got the second strike, so we are completely shut down on our main channel. We're on the backup channel now. And so make sure you support us there. Also subscribe to those other channels and support us on Patreon. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's program. It was fun. We'll talk soon, guys. Bye.
All right.
Bye.
God bless you, everyone. Have a good night.
Good night.
Yeah, have a good night.
All right. Bye.
Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to Framing the World. Also, check the video description for our backup channels. Bye, guys.